Right, peeps. It is time. It is time indeed. So let me get my stuff up. I'm all yours. I have this chat there. Bring you over here. Like that. And let's make sure this works. Oh. Right, so boom. What up, peeps? Yes, sir. Regularly scheduled programming here on the Games Matter Mixer channel, ladies and gentlemen, but I've decided to do something different. Now, allow me to get my stuff up, if I may. This is a recording, ladies and gentlemen, so if you want to get yourself in the chat or whatever it is like that on Mixer, that's fine. You know, I'll answer you as best I can, but I need to focus on what I'm doing, so there. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to something new here on the Games Matter Mixer channel, or on behalf of the Games Matter Mixer channel that I decided to stream. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a podcast that I'm testing out. Because normally on this occasion right now, I will be doing GMW. However, little change. Okay? Because GMW is on a hiatus for a minute until I get it sorted out on 2K20. Might be mid-December it returns. I don't know yet. I have no idea what 2K is playing at. But we'll see. But until that is hiatus, I am experimenting with different things that I could fill in and to make a schedule. What would you want to see? And I've thought about this being one of them, which is the Wrestling Matters podcast that I've done before I even started this streaming thing, or even took this streaming thing seriously. I did for about 3 years until I went into some keyboard warriors, which tried to hold me back, and did nothing but disrespect me and use me and threaten me with lawsuits. So, and plus, I had to take a hiatus besides them. I had to take a hiatus anyway due to personal matters, which I'll get to in here for my Mixer viewers as well. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I've already said it when I came back. Yes, I haven't done this in a while, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't done this in a while because I've just been trying to get my shit together, basically. The last time I did this off and on the YouTube channel. This is the first time I've ever streamed this, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, if I go off a little off key here. But I'll say what I'll say now that I did on the YouTube channel. I, once, a couple of years ago, I guess you could say now 2 years ago, in 2017, I was scheduled, on the week of Independence Day, I was scheduled to do a podcast. I had a podcast planned, ready to go, ready to record and everything. And it was going to be on New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then tragedy struck in my family. And I'm not asking for sympathy, guys. It is what it is. But tragedy struck in my family. It wasn't the keyboard warriors' fault that got me away. It was this. After this happened, I needed to get away. I found my father dead, July 4th, 2017. And at that moment, I needed to get away. After some consideration and everything like that, whether I should carry on. But I needed to get away and go away and sort out myself and sort out the family and try to get myself sorted out. Yeah. Yes, guy. I had to try and get myself sorted out. That's why I've literally go around and saying that I've had the 2 worst years of my life. Just when things seemed to falling into place with everything and I was ready to come back, the only thing that kept me going during that 2-year period was streaming and my YouTube channel and everything else. That was the only thing that kept me going. I started taking Mixer seriously this year. And that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sky. But yeah, I was, like I said, from what happened, going all the way in for a year, everything seemed to fall back into place. I was getting back to normal, at least I thought I was. And then, like I say, in the space of 2 years, that's why I consider myself to have the worst 2 years I've had. From July 4th, 2017 to July 4th, 2019, it has been the worst 2 years of my life, period. Because as bad as it was to lose my father, I ended up losing my cousin to epilepsy on Christmas time 2018, and her 47th birthday was the last birthday she ever had, basically. She died at 47. So yeah, just when things were falling back into place, second tragedy struck. You know, losing my father, and I lost my cousin to epilepsy. So I had to sort that shit out too. But then I decided this year on the YouTube channel, the Wrestling Matters YouTube channel, I decided to get myself, at least try to get myself back in and get myself sorted out and get my shit together, basically, and, you know, not go into it straight away, you know, baby steps and that, and try to get a few episodes out there just to see what it was like. And they did all right. Charles0189, thank you for the follow. I know Mixer, welcome to the Mafia. But yeah, it was that basically, and I decided to do a few shows back in and get myself back into it and get myself back into the groove of things to see what happens and everything. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but then I had to take another hiatus. Yeah, good one, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Hang on a second, guys. Let me just check something. Yeah, but I was like saying, I was trying to get back into the groove of things and that. Ah, yeah, okay. Okay, big shot. Yep. Yeah. Bear with me, guys. I'm just sorting this little thing out because somebody tries to be a big shot on my YouTube channel and tries to get his 16 minutes of fame or whatever it is. So bear with me. But like I was saying, I did some episodes on my YouTube channel, try to get back into it, and I haven't done anything for a while because I've been trying to get my shit together, basically, as best I could. But yeah. So it is what it is, but I'm back now. I'm trying to get back into it. But yeah, that's what's pretty much been happening on my YouTube channel, guys. Tried to sort things out. I try to be a big, try to be the big shot and everything about it and that. But yeah, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. Mind you, nothing's ever easy. And considering what happened to me this year as well, a few things that went down this year and everything, I've just woke the fuck up and basically decided enough's enough. I'm sick of lying to myself, I've got a car now. I've got a sat-nav, which is here. This little beauty right here, which I'm still in the process of sorting out. So I can do what the fuck I want now. I'm going to go places. I'm going to do my work. Do my employees. I have good people surrounded, not just in IRL, but in, on the mixer as well, in streaming and online and whatever the fuck. So yeah, it's time to wake the fuck up and do something about it. And if I can do what I did to my anxiety and depression that I had all them years ago, over a decade, if I can do that and get what I need out of this and find that balance in my life that I need, that I'm desperate for, pretty much. If I can do that with my anxiety, Jesus Christ, I can do it with this. It doesn't happen overnight, but I can do it. There's got to be something there, and it's my job to go out and get it, basically. So, yeah. But other than that, guys, that's what it was. I got what I needed and everything like that, and everything went aside and everything, and I'm back to normal basically. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on 1815 followers on YouTube, on Mixer, so things are looking up as well. And I got 2,500, or close to 2,500 subscribers on my YouTube channel as well. 330 on my Wrestling Matters channel, but I'm going to start balancing, try to find a balance to mix with that. Hopefully record these and then stick them on that channel as well. So all the social medias up there, I put up there while I was doing that as well. But yeah, guys, this podcast is about wrestling. One of the main loves of my life, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm going to do today, guys, I've got me intro here. I'm going to talk WWE. It's just basically a catch-up show today. That's all it is, guys. It's just basically a catch-up show, catch-up recording podcast that I'm just going to catch up and give my opinions on the wrestling business since I've been away and everything. This is my first show back, so bear with me. So yeah, it's going to be WWE, AEW, my thoughts on the NWA show, which you can see as I'm recording this. You can see tonight at 11 p.m. UK time on the NWA YouTube channel, and also the facebook.com/NWA, youtube.com/NWA as well. So you can see that show tonight on the YouTube channel and Facebook channel respectively. So I'll be definitely watching, or at least hoping to check that out as well. I'll wait until it's finished because I think they premiere it on the YouTube channel, and it's I want to get out there. I want to watch it straight away and flick through it and see what happened. It's an hour show, so yeah, I'll get to more on that later. And also, Crown Jewel is this Thursday as well. I'll be giving my predictions on that show. And yes, I'm guessing this happened over the weekend with ICW. Red Lightning, Rudo Lightning, who won the Square Go in January in ICW. Many people won't know or be familiar with ICW, which is that t-shirt behind me, by the way. It's Championship Wrestling based in Scotland. Well, he won the briefcase, which allowed him to cash in any time for a World Heavyweight Championship match. And apparently he's already cashed it in at their show, France 2000. Ruby Riott used to be in the NWL. Yeah, National Wrestling Alliance, for those of you that don't know. Yeah. A little bit of news there. Apparently Ruby Riott used to be in the NWA. I didn't know that. But she's in WWE now, so I wonder if they ever bring back the Riott Squad. Yeah, I was aware of Harper. Harper was the indie. He has done some indie shows. But yeah, it's AEW, WWE, NWA, Red Lightning cashing in. I'll get to that later on. And then the Crown Jewel predictions, which Crown Jewel takes place this Thursday. So we'll start with WWE and this new era they've gone into with Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And to be fair, NXT will probably involve AEW, so bear with me on that one. But yeah, since I've been away, Raw and SmackDown have developed this new, at least tried to find a new identity for themselves to compete with AEW, pretty much. New theme songs, new look. They even had a draft, which was rubbish, to be honest with you. SmackDown was okay, but I am very disappointed with Raw, if I may say so. Very, very disappointed with Raw, in my opinion, because you haven't watched it. Well, consider yourself good. I've checked it out on here and there, but when they started this era with SmackDown going to Fox and the new era under Paul Heyman, there's a lot of stuff that's on there that's weird for me. This angle with Lana and Lashley and Rusev, which is, that's Paul Heyman all over, which is rubbish. I think out of the whole draft, SmackDown got the better deal. Fox got the better deal, because you could see when you did the draft, the Fox executives and the USA executives, them two are even competing with one another. Although it did look like the Fox executives and the USA network executives, they look like they've been hired. From what I saw, they weren't exactly it didn't look like a real feel of the executives. They did look like they've been hired. That Vince McMahon went out and hired a bunch of people just to play the executives on television. That's what I felt out of that. That it had no feel of realism towards, what it could have been like a NFL. It did like go out and feel like, Vince McMahon went out and hired just a bunch of people to play, we'll hire you, we'll take you and put you and make you the Fox executives, and we'll hire you and take you and make you the USA executives. It just didn't feel real in that respect. And plus, I think Raw got the horrible deal out of it, to be honest with you. I think SmackDown won overall in who they got. They got The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. They got Brock Lesnar. They kept Roman Reigns, and people like that. They got the major players on there. Raw did okay, but SmackDown was better because Raw got Seth Rollins, Ricochet, and people like that. Them kind of stuff. And even Drew McIntyre as well stayed on Raw. And Randy Orton as well, who was fucking phenomenal last night. I saw Raw last night. Orton at his best. Orton at his best. And Becky Lynch too, yes, as well. They got the man. Obviously they're going to keep the man because she's the backbone of the female division on Raw. Because she's the women's champion. As well. I'll get to Raw from last night as well, because there was just one moment on there which put a smile on my face from Randy Orton, which was fucking great. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the first couple of shows, the first two shows under the Heyman regime, Paige, I'll get to that in a second, Sky. The first Raw shows under the new regime, which was Paul Heyman, because he's now the creative director, executive director of creative on Raw, whatever the fuck he is. I thought they were disappointing, to be honest with you, and it's gone down that same path. Fox's show, their debut show on Fox, when they brought out Velasquez, as well, I thought that was all right. There's improvement that could be made, but I thought that was okay. They always say Raw's the A show. No, SmackDown's the A show from the time being, at least, because Raw's been very disappointing. And I could tell you one reason why Raw is disappointing, in my opinion. 3 hours. SmackDown's 2 hours. But Raw is 3 hours. And I'm begging WWE to change that. They need to change that. Yes, it's pretty much the F show. They need to change that. And do it quick. Because Raw's awful. Let's just say that. Raw, I'm not saying, when I say change it quick, I'm not saying take 3 hours away, out of the way, forever. And take the show back to 2 hours. If you're going to do a 3 hour show, save it for a special occasion. The odd occasion. Maybe once a month kind of deal. Have it on both shows. Do like 3 hour show once a month. Like a special occasion to attract network, to attract viewers and that. Just to spice it up a little bit. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work with 3 hours of Raw. Because it's the same repetitive stuff on Raw as well. It's just, it's so bad. It really is bad. And, Raw and SmackDown, SmackDown's on Fox now. Raw's on the USA Network. And then you've got NXT, which is on the USA Network now too. On a Wednesday night. And despite the fact the ratings have been low, from what I've seen, the numbers and that, it's still a bloody good show. And if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then you obviously don't know wrestling, because in my opinion, NXT is the number one brand out of the whole three. Okay? Why? Because Triple H is involved. That's one. Two, he knows what to do in this type of era when it comes to wrestling. And if you don't believe me, go and watch the shows. He knows what to do in this type of era to watch, with the shows and everything like that. I mean, Vince McMahon is out of touch. Triple H doesn't seem to be. And, all this thing about, it's Triple H, it's NXT versus AEW. Dude, AEW is AEW. And I'll get to AEW in a bit more detail in a minute. But who gives a fuck about the ratings? I don't. And NXT, AEW on a Wednesday night. If you're a wrestling fan, happy days. Because I love the AEW show. Like I said, I'll talk about that in a bit more depth in a minute. But, look what NXT is doing. And yes, they're probably thinking, it's not a good show because the ratings are going down. You might be watching a different show than what I'm watching, because I've enjoyed all the shows that they've had on the network so far. And yes, they've done an hour show on the network and done the other hour on the WWE network. It still worked, but to compete with AEW, you have to have full 2 hours on the USA network. You can't have 1 hour on the USA network and then the other hour on the WWE network. That doesn't work. If you're going to go to the USA network, you've got to get off the WWE network. Yes, you can put the show up on there, on VOD and everything like that. That's fine. But if you want to, compete with AEW, you have to have the full show on the network, on the USA network. You've got to have the full show on the USA network. It doesn't work. 1 hour on the USA network, the other hour on the WWE network. That don't work. Okay? Especially if you're trying to compete with AEW. But I've really enjoyed the show, and Finn Balor came back as well. Tommaso Ciampa's returned as well. And I don't give a flying fuck what anybody says right now. That Finn Balor heel turn was the greatest thing on NXT since it's joined the USA network. Because for those of you that don't know, ladies and gentlemen, that's the real rock and roller. Now, if you want to know what now I'm talking about, he's still called Finn Balor, but before WWE, he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he was the founder of the Bullet Club. He was in New Japan Pro Wrestling as Prince Devitt. His real name is Fergal Devitt, but they called him Prince Devitt. Right up, Sky. They called him Prince Devitt in NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then he called himself the real rock and roller. That's who came back. That's who returned. He even said it himself on Twitter. I'm back. That's the man himself. That's the man himself who came back. All right, it might be WWE version, but that's the guy who came back. Because yes, I say WWE version because they're still calling him Finn Balor. They should call him now Prince Balor. Obviously, I don't think they'd be able to use the Devitt name, although they could because it's his real name. But I don't think they might. If they could use the Devitt name because New Japan used it. But like I said, the Devitt is his real name. It's his real last name. But what I'm saying is they should call him now Prince Balor. And even Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, who the OC on Raw, they even said it themselves to him on Twitter. AJ Styles tweeted, well. And Carl Anderson said, what took you so long, Prince? So maybe we'll see them too, because there's a lot of rumours flying about. Now he's turned. Has Prince joined the Undisputed Era? I doubt that. I doubt that very much, because Adam Cole won't give that up. Adam Cole's the leader of that group. But is he the associate with them? I don't know. Or are they warming up a match of Undisputed Era versus the original Bullet Club, being AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and Finn Balor? And he even said it himself when they did the Backstage on Fox, because he was a guest on Backstage, this new show they've got on Fox, WWE Backstage. He even came out and said it there to Booker T. The Prince is back. So if you want to know what the hell I'm talking about, get yourself on YouTube and look it up. Look up Fergal Devitt, NJPW, or Prince Devitt, NJPW. Look it up, and you know what the hell I'm talking about, because, you know, that's the original Finn Balor. That's the man. You know, that's the man he wanted to be when he first came to WWE. But I don't think WWE would allow him. And everybody's talking about why has he gone back. Well, I'll tell you the reason why he's gone back. Or, in my opinion, the real reason why he's come back. He even said it himself, the reason why he came back on that WWE Backstage show on Fox, which you can see on the YouTube channel. But he even said it himself. In my opinion, Vince has never had his back on the main roster. Yes, he's been a two-time Intercontinental Champion. Yes, he was the inaugural Universal Champion. You know, but in all honesty, Vince has never had his back. The last time he was on WWE main TV, or main roster television, he got his ass kicked by The Fiend at SummerSlam. So then he had that couple of months off after that, because he was taking some time off anyway, and he had that couple of months off. Is it worth getting the Dulux? Yeah, I was doing the bump in the night last night, Tuberman. I did the bump in the night. The bump in the night is out now. I'd get the deluxe edition, Tuberman, for one simple reason: the season pass. Because if you don't get it, you'll have to pay for the DLC. If you get the season pass, it'll be a piece of kit. You know, everything will be free from going forward. So I would get WWE 2K20 Deluxe Division. I did. Deluxe Edition. So anyway, Prince Devitt, by the way, I'll get to WWE if I have time. 2K20 about that. I'll get to that later on as well. But yeah, the reason why he went back to NXT, because let's face it, let's call it as it is. Right up. Let's call it as it is right now. Triple H has always had his back. Triple H has always had his back. No matter what. Okay? I mean, he's the longest reigning NXT champion. He put the NXT brand on Finn's back. So why not go back there? You're not getting nothing on the main roster. And plus you can go back there and test yourself like you said on the Fox show. I mean, can you think of the matches that he's got? Obviously there's one with Johnny Gargano right round the corner, considering where he attacked him. But possible matches down the line. Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa even, for Pete's sake. And people like that. Hell, Finn Balor, Matt Riddle. I'd be down for that. That's if Matt Riddle stays on the NXT roster. But anyway, but yeah, even though, but it's a slow build. Since WWE, since NXT was on the network, when it comes to their storylines and their audience, it's always been a slow build. People think right now they should rush into it just to compete with AEW. Triple H knows what he's doing, people. In my opinion, Triple H knows what he's doing, and Finn Balor heel turn was the start of it to compete. I mean, if you want ratings now, you're probably going to get them on the NXT. As for AEW's done 4 shows right now, and all the shows right now are building in to Full Gear, which is November 9th. And if I can, I'll review that on this show, on this channel, if I can. But they're all building into Full Gear. But, from where it is now to where AEW is now after the 4 shows, I loved it. All these morons, all these fickle idiot keyboard warrior pricks on Facebook, and that's it. I know you probably can't hear it on the YouTube channel because of their bullshit. Horse, thanks for the follow, for the host rather. Like I say, you probably can't hear that on the YouTube channel, but anyway. After the 4 shows, AEW's been very entertaining. I haven't checked it out on the ITV format because I've watched it online. I haven't checked it out through the ITV format. I'm doing good, mate. Hope you're doing good too. I haven't checked it out on the format of the ITV yet. But after the 4 shows, I've been, sweet as a nut with it. It's been very entertaining. There's a new group on there called the Inner Circle, which is led by Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho, the team known as LAX in Impact Wrestling, Santana and Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, which is a young talent, very good talent too, by the way, and believe it or not, Jake Hager, or better known to you WWE people as Jack Swagger. Yes, Mr. MMA Bellator dude now, as he's now known, and he's undefeated in Bellator apparently. But yeah, that's the guy who is in there, in that respect. That's the guy, that's what they've done. And they're going up against people like Cody Rhodes, because Cody and Jericho are facing each other for the title at Full Gear on November 9th. And people like that, all the stuff's going down. It's all leading to Full Gear. Kenny Omega is going to go one-on-one with Jon Moxley, which I'm looking forward to. That match should have took place a couple of months earlier, but due to Moxley's injury, they had to change it, and then they ended up giving. It ended up being Kenny Omega and Pac, which is Neville if you WWE, but which is what should have been. Which is what should have been to begin with, Pac and what they call, but yeah, Moxley and CM Punk is going to steal. Moxley and Kenny Omega is going to steal the show, no doubt. CM Punk is meant to be coming back as a commentator. I don't know if he's accepted it yet from Fox. I think he's meant to be coming back as an analyst for Fox, for the Fox show. I don't know if he's accepted it, or I don't know if Fox said, "Oh, we'll take him." Yeah, so I don't know about that one yet. I'd like to know. I just wish he'd come back to the ring, to be honest with you. Come back and step in the ring again. Because I don't think he's getting anywhere with MMA. But if he goes to AEW, maybe they'll still let him do his MMA stuff. Because, like I said, they've got Jack Swagger, Jake Hager on their roster now as part of the Inner Circle. He still does MMA because he's in Bellator. But I don't know about that. But all in all, guys, I don't know what you guys have been watching. I mean, my favourite part of last week's show with AEW was when it was Cody Rhodes, MJF, Cody's best friend apparently, Dustin Rhodes, and of all people, DDP, going up against, trying to scare off or intimidate the Inner Circle who were up in the box. And Cody was going to go up there and beat the hell out of all of them. But then the backup came out and they all went up there together. And the Inner Circle hid in the room and locked themselves in the room just to get away from it. Just to get away from the group. And Cody stuck his hand out, and MJF wraps it with his scarf. MJF wrapped it with his scarf, and then punches the window, smashes the window through, opens the door, and then grabs Jericho and starts beating the hell out of him. And there was this huge brawl back in the turnstile area of the stadium they were in, which was this great. So all of that is to build into Full Gear, which is coming up November 9th. There's been some great matches on there as well. I liked Pac and Moxley, the 20-minute time limit draw. Hell, even Sean Spears and Moxley was great. They've done some good matches on there. And they even do this AEW Dark now, which is pretty much, I think it's the matches they have, like dark matches, like you have in WWE. They have dark matches before the actual show. I think that's what they're doing right now, but they're putting it on YouTube. Maybe WWE should do that. Think about doing that, putting the dark matches on their episodes before the shows. Maybe they should start doing that. Because AEW are doing it. Hell, even Taz. For those of you that used to watch SmackDown and hell, ECW as well, Taz was even a commentator on the show as well. I don't know if that was a trial run, whether he got the gig or not full time. I don't know. So, yeah, it's all been good. This coming Wednesday, as I'm doing this, next Wednesday, October 30th, they're going to have the match to determine the first ever AEW Tag Team Championships, who wins the tag team titles. And it looks like the finals, SCU and Lucha Brothers. And considering what's going on between them two, it's out with them two, but considering what's going on storyline-wise and angle-wise, because the Lucha Brothers attacked SCU as they were coming down for their semi-final match and put Daniels on the shelf because Pentagon package power drive him on the floor, and it ended up being Scorpio Sky and Kazarian instead of Kazarian and Daniels. So I think it seems destined for SCU to be AEW World Tag Team Champions, the first AEW World Tag Team Champions. But everybody's pulling for the Lucha Brothers, it seems. But we'll find out October 30th, I suppose. But all in all, guys, AEW has been a hit. And to all you fickle fans out there, go fuck yourselves. Because you're not watching the same product and you're not wrestling fans. And there's a lot of fans that are in this AEW group that I'm in on Facebook, which is all about for AEW fans, and they're disrespecting it. I hope they all got kicked out, pretty much. I have to trim the fat on some of these groups on Facebook, man. Because you get some stupid fucking wrestling fans on there, I tell you. Some wrestling fans that are just thick-headed and stupid. It's so embarrassing. It's not even funny. You know, I want to be around true wrestling fans that you can have a debate with and, you know, and maybe not disagree all the time. Not ones that are fucking completely idiotic. And trust me, I've been around a few of them, believe you me. You know, a few of them that make you appreciate you have brain cells. Anyway, NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. I really like their shows. You know, they've done everything building in, and they even had a working relationship with the Ring of Honor. But now they've broke away from that, and they've started brought back studio wrestling. Hour each week, like I said at the beginning of the show, Tuesdays on Facebook and YouTube. YouTube.com/NWA, Facebook.com/NWA. I always watch it on YouTube. And I've watched the first shows. Thomas Latimer, I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologise, big man. But he was known as Bram in Impact Wrestling. He's an NWA Tag Team Champion for beating the for Mighty Skulls Group, two members of Mighty Skulls Group who won the Crockett Cup to win the tag belts. But apparently because of the Ring of Honor split and everything like that, they had to drop the titles to them too. The NWA champion is still Nick Aldis. The national champion is James Storm, although from what I've been hearing spoilers-wise, that doesn't seem to be the case. And I've also heard a rumour, spoilers-wise, that Bram, who's the tag team champion, him and his partner lose the tag belts to the Rock and Roll Express. I'll believe that when I see it. But we'll see on that one. Kenny Kingston's Eddie Kingston, that is. Kenny, where did I get Kenny from? Eddie Kingston showed up in there as well with Homicide. Mr. Anderson is even in there. Remember Kenneth Anderson? Mr. Kennedy in WWE? He's in the NWA. Colt Cabana's joined as well, because obviously he still wants to be in there as well, because he's a former two-time NWA World Champion. And also, he's the former national champion. There's still some beef with him and James Storm. Tim Storm's in there as well. There's a few other people in there as well. Nick Aldis, still the NWA champion. How long for, I don't know. And he seems to be having beef with this announcer that's on there who's been talking so much shit. It's not even funny. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. But all in all, overall, product-wise and presentation-wise, I really like the NWA shows. And if you, like I say, if you haven't seen them, check them out tonight. NWA. Facebook.com/NWA. YouTube.com/NWA as well on the YouTube channel. If you're in the UK, in America it starts at 6 o'clock or 6:05. In the UK it starts at 11 p.m. tonight. You can watch it the next day, that's fine. But, you know, if you want to watch it and stay up to watch it, if you've got an hour to spare before bed, and you're a wrestling fan, I recommend it. Because the NWA is good, really good. and I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table. And I know that they've started all this this 1 hour shows and everything like that. I'm wondering myself, will they go to will they go to an hour and a half? Because I remember the old NWA shows used to be an hour back in the day, the late 80s. World Championship Wrestling and all that. I was wondering if they'll end up going to an hour and a half. Keep it as it is for now, but you never know down the road I'm talking about. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the wrestling. The big matches they've had on there, Bram and his partner taking care of the tag team titles, defending the belts against Eddie Kingston and what's his face? Eddie Kingston and Homicide. That was for the tag belts, which got spoiled because another team came in and attacked Kingston and Homicide. The NWA title was even defended on there, Tim Storm and Nick Aldis. And if Tim Storm lost, he was not allowed a shot at the World Championship anymore. Whether that's he's not allowed a shot at the NWA title, whether that's due to Nick Aldis being the champion, or as long as Nick Aldis is the champion, I don't know where that storyline's going. But if Tim Storm can't get a shot at the World Championship anymore, you might as well quit, to be honest. Although it seems to be him and he's gunning for a tag team match, and maybe him working with Eli Drake. Yes, Eli Drake's in there as well. Maybe he's working. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But all in all, I am very pleased with the NWA product at the moment. I'm very impressed. Speaking of being impressed with NWA product as well, there's another organisation that have their shows on YouTube that I've been very, very impressed with, and that's MLW, Major League Wrestling. I've been very impressed with their shows. They had a Halloween special which was directed or produced by Jimmy Havoc, AEW bound Jimmy Havoc as well. I think they've allowed him to compete with MLW as well, just like Tony Schiavone as well. Apparently Schiavone still announces with MLW as well, even though he's announcing with AEW too. So obviously they've worked something out there. But yeah, the storyline was, MJF's group against the Hart Foundation, the Dynasty, and apparently there's going to be a fight at, I don't know when the show is, but MLW's next big show, it's going to be for the middleweight title. It's going to be Teddy Hart and Austin Aries. That'll be a good fight. That'll be a good match, and I'd like to see that match. If not the full show, but I definitely would like to see that match, Teddy Hart and Austin Aries. There's been great angles on there as well. The Von Erich sons, I guess they're sons. Kevin Von Erich's been on there as well with his sons as well. They've always been teaming up with the MMA style, the former world champion, and going against the that group. Which has the world champion who was a member of the Samoan dynasty. I forgot their name. Wow. But yes, all in all though, MLW has been very, very, very impressive with MLW as well. And I've really enjoyed MLW as well as the NWA as well. I haven't caught up with Ring of Honor. I haven't thingied with Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor's on its last legs, in my opinion. I don't know what direction that show's going, if I'm being honest with you. Now they've broke away from the NWA, the partnership, because them two were in like a working relationship, NWA and Ring of Honor. That's where you saw NWA matches on Ring of Honor shows. But, yeah, I don't know where that's going, if I'm being honest with you, with the NWA. I could say with the Ring of Honor, but we'll see what happens. Right, ICW. Now, let me give you a background on ICW, because I know what some of you watching this on my Mixer channel, streaming, watching this back on the VOD and everything like that, who are wrestling fans, may not have a Scooby-Doo what the hell ICW is. So allow me to give you a little bit of background to it. ICW is called Insane Championship Wrestling. They are based out of Scotland, Glasgow, in fact. I've travelled all over the UK and everything. They have a working relationship with WWE, one of a few indie promotions that work with the WWE. The other two that I know, First Time, Progress and Evolve as well. But yes, ICW, and they've got their big show coming up. They've been around for a long time. They never really hit mainstream until later on. I think when Drew McIntyre went back, it was known as Drew Galloway. I think when he went back, that's when they started pushing for mainstream, and and eventually hit the mainstream. They were on the verge of getting there, but they weren't quite there. And then when Drew left WWE the first time around, before he came back to what he is now, back in the first time around, he was the chosen one, and he left WWE and he went straight back to ICW and pretty much put them on the map, quite frankly. So they've now hit mainstream what they are now. They're a lot better than what they are now. And like I said, they've got WWE in their back pocket endorsing them. Hell, they've had Triple H on the show out of nowhere as well. So they have WWE's endorsement. There's no question about that. Mark Dallas, who I admire so much because of what he's done for the company and how he's went about the business to get the company off the ground and everything. It's just phenomenal. And if you haven't seen it, there's the on-demand service or the YouTube channel. I'm been a subscriber on the on-demand service, but I've took a break from it for the time being. But I do catch up on the YouTube channel as well. So youtube.com/Insane Championship Wrestling, I believe it is. Or ICW, it's one of them. But just look it up on YouTube. Well, I saw something last night because coming up at the beginning of November, I believe it's next week. A week from this Sunday. Or a week from this Saturday, because it's a 2-night weekend. Or 2-night special. So they'll be doing 2 shows back to back with the same name. Fear and Loathing, which is their WrestleMania show, takes place, and it's their big show. They're doing 2 nights of it, and I believe it's not this weekend, but it's the next weekend. It might be this weekend, I don't know, but I believe it's either this weekend or the following weekend. They had France 2000 show. They've done it before. They've had France 98, France 99, they had France 2000 this time. And on that show, Rudo Lightning, as he's now known, better known to ICW fans as Red Lightning, he won the square goal in January, which allows him to have a briefcase to carry around, and that briefcase allows him to have a shot at the ICW World title wherever he wants, wherever he may pleases. They did an angle from this video that I've seen where Mark Dallas was wanting to cancel the World Championship match between Stevie Boy, who was the World Champion, who won the title from Wolfgang despite what happened to Lionheart. Yes, Lionheart passed away early this year due to suicide, I believe. I believe it was suicide. They might say different, but I'm pretty sure it was suicide. So they put the belt back on Stevie Boy, who returned at Shug's Hoose Party and beat Wolfgang. Fast forward to now, the injury that kept Stevie Boy out for a year has seemed to resurface again. And then this angle they did on the ICW show, which was France 2000, I think Mark Dallas wanted to cancel the match and save Stevie Boy from getting seriously injured again to the point where he can't compete ever. But Stevie Boy was so determined to have this match at Fear and Loathing. But as that happened, Rudo Lightning, Red Lightning came out and cashed in pretty much his briefcase. Started whacking the briefcase and started whacking Stevie Boy, attacked Stevie Boy with the briefcase, injuring his leg, working his leg, and then Stevie Boy manages to get a victory over him by hitting him with a super kick. He called Red Lightning with a super kick off guard and got the 1-2-3, and basically Red Lightning, Rudo Lightning, whatever you want to call him, fucked up the cash in, pretty much. Cheers, Hatchet. for the 1,000. He pretty much caught up with the. Pretty much fucked up the cash in, pretty much, and now he's not the world champion. And Stevie Boy is determined to face Joe Coffey at Fear and Loathing for the ICW World Championship. And it's going to take place, much to the dismay of Mark Dallas. But yeah, Rudo was meant to cash in, tried to cash in and become the world champion. Pretty much trying to save Mark Dallas, pretty much, I think he was trying to do. Even though Mark Dallas didn't see it that way. Because, you got one guy injured. If Rudo cashed in and won the championship, the ICW title, he would have faced Joe Coffey instead, probably, instead of Stevie Boy. So he was trying to save something there and everything, but Stevie Boy, like I say, got the pinfall, and it's going to be Stevie Boy and Joe Coffey for the ICW championship at Fear and Loathing. It's pretty much a done deal, despite what Mark Dallas thinks. But yeah, all in all, that was ICW. I just thought I'd share that with you because I saw it this morning when I was watching the YouTube channel. When I was checking out the YouTube channel and everything. And everything, so yeah. God, don't get me started on that Raw episode from last night. Yeah, but speaking of the Raw episode last night, one thing that amused me, which was fucking hilarious, is when Randy Orton came out. They had a match with Drew McIntyre and Ricochet last night, which was fucking hilarious. Good match. Hogan was in Ricochet's corner, and Ric Flair was in Drew McIntyre's corner. Well, Ricochet pretty much had Drew McIntyre beat, and I think he was going for the 630 off the top rope, which is like a somersault move, senton move that he does, which is his finishing move. And as he did it, McIntyre rolled out the way. Ricochet lands on his feet, turns round, and then out of nowhere, Randy Orton just comes in and drops him with an RKO, which was fucking quality. And Ricochet sold it perfectly, but it was what Orton said afterwards was funny. Because he shook Ric Flair's hand, he got McIntyre back up, and he got McIntyre back up, they shook hands as well, and he turned round Randy Orton and looked at the crowd. I'm a heel, but you all love me. Which is true, because the crowd were cheering him, even though he's meant to be a bad guy, a villain, which is that's what they call a heel. He was meant to be a bad guy. That's what they called him. That's what he said. He went, I am a heel, but you love me anyway. And it's true, they do. Because, I mean, how could you not love Randy Orton, for fuck's sake? Randy Orton's just... Whether he's a bad guy, a good guy, whatever guy he is, he's just phenomenal. He really is phenomenal. Yes, woo indeed for Ric Flair Hatchet on that one. Right. But that was the highlight of Raw for me last night. The rest of it sucked, quite frankly. The rest of it was nah. And don't get me started on the angle with Rusev, Lashley and Lana. This divorce court angle, affair angle, whatever the hell they're trying to do. Anyway, I've got no you-know-what's about it. I could give two you-know-what's about it, to be honest with you. Right. Let's have a look at what we can do on this one. Let's go to the, let's go to the thingies, the Crown Jewel predictions. Let's do these as well. Crown Jewel is this Thursday, and it takes place on the WWE Network from Saudi Arabia. It all takes place for Saudi, and it's going to be, and even though I don't think anything major is going to happen, despite what I've been hearing, despite what I've been hearing and everything like that, I don't think anything major is going to happen, but we'll see what happens. I am intrigued to watch this on Thursday, even though I want to do a Halloween stream. So if I stream on Thursday, guys, would I be streaming at this time on Thursday? Probably not. I might be back next week. I might have to have the day off on Thursday, depending on what I'm doing. But I'll be back next week, with my scheduled time, I hope. So I might not be here on Thursday. I might be streaming on Thursday, but it might not be at my usual time. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I am intrigued to watch this. So if I stream on Thursday, I might have this on in the background. So you might have to bear with me. But other than that, the matches are Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez for the WWE title. The Universal title's on the line. The man who should be team captain of Hogan, Seth Rollins, has to go one-on-one with the Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And this time it can't be stopped for any reason. I'll get to that in a minute. Because boy, oh boy, did Hell in a Cell suck. You've got Team Hogan, which is... Hang on, just let me find. Which is Ali, Shorty G, Ricochet, Rusev, and Roman Reigns to take on Ric Flair's team, which is Baron Corbin, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. I'll get to that in a minute. And I get to who came out the best. Who came out the best in that deal. As well. Yes, Braun Strowman goes one-on-one with Tyson Fury. Yes, you heard me correct. Tyson Fury. Lineal heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. The guy who's at the moment right now knocking on Deontay Wilder's door. I'll get to that in a second. Mansoor. I have no idea who that is. Where's... Oh, it's probably somebody from Saudi Arabia. Well, he's going to go one-on-one with Cesaro, whoever he is. I guess we'll find out on Thursday. And then the tag team turmoil to determine the World Cup winner and crown the best tag team in the world. Another stupid friggin' World Cup tournament that they're doing. They did this to determine the best in the world last year in the singles one. Fucking yawn. Is the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, John, Tyson Fury. And yes, Andy Ruiz is Andy's the champion as well. But Deontay Wilder is still the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Yes, Andy's got the other belt because he beat Joshua. But Tyson's knocking on Deontay Wilder's door for the WBC title. And in my opinion, he should be WBC World Heavyweight Champion now, going into this match. But he's not. Because everybody who saw that Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight knows that he won the fight. And I'm talking Tyson Fury. But in any event. Yes, so we'll go back up here. Let's go to... Oh, by the way, there's a 20-man Battle Royal as well, besides all the other matches I mentioned. There's a 20-man Battle Royal, and the winner faces AJ Styles for the United States title. And it doesn't seem that Ricochet is going to get that opportunity. So, because he's in the, he's in the Team Hogan fiasco. So we'll start with the 20-man Battle Royal. I've got a funny feeling that is... what's his name? I think What I Call It's going to end up winning that match. I don't know who's going to win that match outright. Because I have no idea who's going to win that match outright, in my opinion. I have no clue. Where's the? But I tell you who might win it. Who might have a chance of winning it based on what I saw on Raw. Because he got his ass kicked by him. Humberto Carrillo. Humberto Carrillo. This new sensation who took Seth Rollins to the limit on Raw. This underdog, apparently, you can call him. Apparently he might... I reckon there's something going down with that, so I reckon he might get the US title shot. They might have him win the Battle Royal. I don't know where they're going with that Battle Royal, but all I know is this. The winner of that match faces AJ Styles for the US title, and I've got a funny feeling AJ will keep his US belt. The largest tag team turmoil match to determine the world's best. If there is a God in this world, you've got the Raw Tag Team Champions in there, which is the Viking Raiders. You've got the Revival, who are the SmackDown champions. You've got Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery, the B Team, Robert Roode, Bobby Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. And you've got the club as well, Gallows and Anderson, the OC as well, and the New Day. I have a funny feeling, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to Kill, thanks for the host. Is it Hard to Kill? Yeah, Hard to Kill, thanks for the host. On Mixer. I have a funny feeling who's going to win this. I've got a funny feeling New Day are going to win it. They're going to have New Day win it. If New Day win it, New Day is winning it. But I kind of want the club, Gallows and Anderson, to win it at the OC. But I've got a funny feeling they're going to make New Day win it. Cesaro and Mansoor, I've got a funny feeling, considering it's in Saudi, Cesaro's there to put the kid over. Because it's in Saudi Arabia. So this will be a push for Mansoor to go over Cesaro. And if there's any better wrestler that can get this kid over, it's Cesaro, because he's done it for other people, Sami Zayn and people like that. I'll get to the Team Hogan stuff in a minute. The Fiend and Bray Wyatt. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt and Rollins again. Now, obviously this match was based off what happened at Hell in a Cell. The less said about that Hell in a Cell match and the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in general, the better. Because the Hell in a Cell ending between these two was a fucking shit show. Because the match was stopped inside a Hell in a Cell match. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell in a Cell match, there's no holds barred, no disqualification, no nothing. You go, pinfall submissions only. And then this? Seriously? You know? But obviously that's now build up to this, and now it's a Falls Count Anywhere match where there's no stoppage at all. There's not going to be a stoppage. One man must win. I'm kind of hoping Bray wins. But considering now Bray's on SmackDown, and yes, there's some dates, Bray will be in and out of Raw until the end of December because he's still got some scheduled dates with Rollins on the house shows. So, I've got a funny feeling Rollins is going to end up winning this match again. And putting this whole thing to bed with him and The Fiend on TV, whether it still continues off TV, on TV after this. But I know there's some dates between these two on live shows. I don't know what happens after that. All I know is the Fiend's going to SmackDown. He's a SmackDown guy after this as well. So hopefully they'll get rid of the wild card too. But yeah, Seth Rollins, unfortunately, is going to be the champion. Still, unfortunately. Right, I'll go to Team Hogan, get that out the way. I'll save the other two main attractions for last. Right, Team Hogan, you've got Ali, Shorty G, Chad Gable, Ricochet, Rusev, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns was obviously the replacement for Seth Rollins, considering Seth Rollins has to defend the belt against The Fiend. So who do you get? Ooh, who am I going to replace Seth Rollins with? Of course, Roman Reigns, duh. And Ric Flair's team, Randy Orton, King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Out of that team in general, I think Ric Flair got the better deal out of that. I mean, look what you've got in there. You've got Randy Orton. You've got Corbin. You've got Randy Orton. You've got Lashley. You've got Nakamura. And you've got Drew McIntyre. Fuck Baron Corbin. Welcome back, Sky. F Baron Corbin. The character. He's a tremendous streamer. I've seen him. I've been in his streams. He's actually a good streamer. Yes, he streams on Mixer, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Either streams on Mixer or Twitch. I believe it's Mixer, but I think he's moved to Twitch. I don't know what he's doing, but he streams. That I do know. Yeah, but Ric Flair got the better deal out of that. But you know it's balanced out for Hogan to win, Hogan's team to win. You know it's balanced out for that. Whether they go with Flair's team winning it and have Flair beat Hogan or whatever, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with this. But, yeah, it's balanced out for Hogan's team to win. But Flair got the better deal out of that, out of them picks. I mean, you know why most of this is in, right? The feuds are Randy Orton and Ali, because apparently there's still beef there between them. And their match at Hell in a Cell, even though the pay-per-view was shit. I couldn't understand why they booked that match at Hell in a Cell, because that has been going since WrestleMania. That feud's been going since WrestleMania. It was just a case of when they were going to do it. And they had it at Hell in a Cell, and it was actually a good match. I think he's in because of him. It might be Roman and Randy Orton because SmackDown vs. Raw thing. I don't know. But I know for fact there's a feud going on between Lashley and Rusev over this whole Lana thing. Less said about that, the better. Fiend or Ric Flair, yeah. I like Fiend. The whole thing with us. Shorty G is having beef with the King on SmackDown. King Corbin on SmackDown. I'm guessing it's going to be... It might be Ali and Shinsuke Nakamura as well, because apparently Ali might be going for his Nakamura's Intercontinental Championship, and Ricochet's been having a go with McIntyre, basically, hasn't he? Based on what happened last night, pretty much. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But I've got a funny feeling Hogan's going to win that fight, win that match. Hogan's team's going to win the match. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Now to the first main event of the show that I'm going to talk about: Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. A man who, in my opinion, should be WBC World Heavyweight Champion. But anyway, he's going to face Braun Strowman. I'm going to tell you this right now. He's probably going to get his ass kicked. Tyson, I'm talking about. He's probably going to get his ass kicked, and they'll have to delay the rematch with him and what to call it. Even though apparently there's a match coming up with Deontay Wilder. If he wins that match, the rematch is on, basically, pretty much. But even if whatever happens, it seems that the rematch may have to be on a hold after this, because despite what's going to happen, and I'm going to give you the prediction in a minute, Tyson's going to get his ass kicked. You got Braun Strowman in there. Strowman's going to kill him, pretty much. But you're all thinking, oh, Strowman's going to win this. No. Tyson's going to win this. And I'll tell you why. Not for the fact he's getting paid $15 million for this. Okay, by the way. That's his pay. £15 million to fight Braun Strowman. Okay? Or $50 million, whatever you want to call it. He's undefeated. That's why. He's the undefeated. He's never lost a boxing match. If Strowman wins this, the undefeated streak is pretty much over. So WWE will probably want Strowman to put this guy over just to keep the undefeated streak going and keep it real. If Tyson wasn't undefeated and he lost a fight, Strowman would win this all day. They'd probably put Strowman over. But this match, to me, in my opinion, is like Big Show and Floyd Mayweather at WrestleMania. Big Show faced Floyd Mayweather Jr. at WrestleMania. You know, Money Mayweather at WrestleMania. And Mayweather won the fight. That was because Mayweather is an undefeated boxer. Same with Tyson Fury here. So if any of you people watching this right now thinking, oh, Tyson's going to get his ass kicked, correct. He probably will. But if you think he's going to lose to Braun Strowman, no. Go back and watch the fight with him and with Show and Floyd Mayweather, because that's what role Braun Strowman is playing this Thursday. Tyson Fury is playing the part of Floyd Mayweather. Strowman is playing the part of the Big Show, and Tyson's going to knock him out. Tyson's going to knock him out, or beat him, or whatever. He'll probably have some barbed wire, some brass knuckles on his fist to knock him out. Oh, I don't know. We'll find out Thursday. But Strowman is going to lose on Thursday. It's a guarantee. I don't know what the hell will happen if WWE decide to go the other way and have Strowman go over on Tyson Fury. But there's no chance in hell WWE will allow that. Like I say, Money Mayweather, Big Show. It's exactly the same, this fight. I don't know if it's a no-holds-barred fight or whatever. They haven't mentioned that yet. But it's going to be a fight. Yes, Tyson will probably get his ass kicked. But he'll win the fight. He'll win the match on Thursday. That's my opinion. That's my analysis on that. As for the WWE title match, Brock Lesnar defending the WWE title against a guy from his past, Cain Velasquez, the guy who ended his UFC title run, because Brock Lesnar, former UFC champion in his own right, when he was in the UFC, and it was Cain Velasquez who ended his UFC title run, pretty much ended his career, quite frankly. I have heard a lot of rumours. My prediction for this is is Brock Lesnar to retain, and Cain puts him over and gives him the even thing. Because I think this whole idea of having Cain Velasquez in at this match, I think this whole idea was yeah. Well, he's not the Universal Champion, he's the WWE Champion now, Tuberman. He's on SmackDown. So he's away from the Universal title. What they're going to do with him on WWE, on SmackDown as the WWE Champion, remains to be seen. But the good thing is that he's on SmackDown now, he's away from the Universal title. So now the Universal title can have an established champion. Well, he's tried to anyway. But as for this match, this prediction that I'm going to do, Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez, I have heard a lot of rumours and a lot of stories going around that Cain Velasquez is going to go over on this match. And Cain Velasquez will be WWE Champion after Thursday. Don't be surprised if that happens, ladies and gentlemen. Because Brock Lesnar won the WWE title by beating Kofi Kingston on the first Fox show of SmackDown in 9 seconds, pretty much. Pretty much killing whatever Kofi had, any momentum that Kofi had, pretty much. And then that's when this whole beef with him and Cain started. I'm trying to see this as like a Goldberg thing. Because Goldberg and Lesnar fought at WrestleMania 20 before, and Goldberg beat him. And then Goldberg came back, and then him and Lesnar had this program where the Survivor Series, Goldberg beat Lesnar, and then eliminated him in the Royal Rumble, and then Lesnar beat him for the Universal title at WrestleMania. I'm kind of thinking this is going down the same route. Maybe, just maybe, Cain Velasquez might win this match, and then needs to have a rematch at Survivor Series the back end of November, and Lesnar wins that. That's the way I see this going. I don't know where this is going to go, but don't be surprised. My prediction is Lesnar to win this match. I don't know where they're going to go with it, to be honest, but my prediction is Lesnar to win this match. But if Cain wins and becomes WWE Champion, don't be surprised. He's done it before. Like I say, Cain beat him for the UFC title. Maybe. Yeah. Well, the very first UFC fighter that entered WWE was Ken Shamrock, and he's in Impact Wrestling right now. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. I can't see where this is. It's going to be a fight on Thursday. There's no question about it. It will be a fight. What's going to happen? Who knows? Who knows? After this, like I say, if Kane wins, I could see Kane winning this match, and then Lesnar probably getting the belt back at Survivor Series. Because Kane's going to be around for a long time anyway. After this is not a one-match deal for him like it is with Tyson Fury. Okay? Because Tyson's going to win, he's going to beat Braun Strowman, collect his $50 million paycheck, and then fuck off back to going knocking on what-to-call-its door, on Deontay Wilder's door again, for the rematch. That's what he's going to do. This is just a one-off deal for Tyson. It's not a one-off deal for Kane. So, Cain Velasquez... You know what? I'm going to call it. Prediction, Cain Velasquez becomes WWE champion. But don't be surprised if Lesnar wins it. Like I said, don't be surprised either way. This could go either way. It all depends on what WWE wants to do with this. At the end of the day. It all depends on what WWE wants to do with this. Okay? Where they're going to go with this angle. Is this going to be like a one-time deal? If it's going to be a one-time deal, then Lesnar wins. If Kane wins, I could probably see Lesnar getting a rematch at Survivor Series and getting the belt back. Because I think he's brought Kane in like Lesnar. Apparently this was Lesnar's idea to have Kane and have this match and whatever. Or to get this match and whatever. Because apparently Lesnar has stroke around WWE. But I think this is going down as a Goldberg thing. It's just with the Goldberg one started at Survivor Series, and Lesnar got his win over Goldberg at WrestleMania. I could see them doing the same thing with this, but it might not be. It might be a different thing. It might be a different thing of where we're going with this. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. But it is what it is. Like I said, it could go two ways, two different ways. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what it is? It's this. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I don't know. Like I say, it could go either way. I'm just trying to figure out from a storyline perspective. Sorry, I'm just replying to some people. It won't be a minute. Why? But like I say, it could go either way. Thank you, Tuberman, for that. It could go either way. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. It's hard to call. Normally, I could see it a mile away with this Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar thing. I could see it a mile away. But it's hard to call. It's hard to call. It really is hard to call. But the what to call it one, Tyson Fury one, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Tyson Fury will win that match. That is a no-brainer. Yeah, that's all you can say. So, my prediction overall, apologies there, guys. I had to deal with a couple of people on my chat. But, yeah, I too, I'll have to wait and see. A couple of trolls on Mixer there trying to be cute. No big deal. Hey, it's Mixer. I get him on YouTube, so there you go. But with that being said, I think Cain Velasquez will win. We'll see what happens. But if Brock wins, like I said, don't be surprised or anything. But like I said, that can go either way. Tyson Fury, though, that's a no-brainer. Tyson Fury will win that match. And I'll be very, very shocked if WWE go a different direction with that and have Braun put him over. I'll be very shocked, considering the fact that Tyson is still undefeated. You know, considering the fact that Tyson's still undefeated. Well, we can only see. I've heard a lot of rumours from as well. I come across this YouTube channel yesterday as well. I'll end it like this. I come across this YouTube channel yesterday. This guy on YouTube, I don't know the name but everything, but he's going around going with these rumours and everything, saying that John Cena is going to be Universal Champion in 2020. I don't know where he gets these friggin' rumours from, but it's crazy. But yeah, it just, that's the kind of stuff I don't want to be around. You know, when you hear rumours like that, it's a case of believe it when you see it. But, you know, it's like, really? You know, really? Okay. Disappointed AEW fans, okay. I'm going to see if there's anything else I can talk about. Anything that's... By the way, going back to what I was saying about being impressed with NWA and MLW, Impact Wrestling was impressive too, as well. Impact Wrestling. I am not kidding you. That episode, that show, I am not kidding you. That show and that brand, Impact Wrestling, has been on life support many, many times. It's been on life support many, many times. And they eventually ended up getting there. Eventually. Now with this new regime they've got and everything. And, you know, credit to them for hanging on. Credit to them for hanging on. But that show's been on life support. And now they're more focused on... they're more focused on the wrestling side of it than the stupid side of it. Because a lot of stupid stuff back in the day. Now it's more serious wrestling side of it. And I'm just looking at... I'm going to be the champ. Let's go, champ. I am going... Apparently, the tapings for... I'm just looking at the Impact Wrestling tapings here for October 25th. And they've gone with something in the main event, because it's going to be Brian Cage and Sami Callihan in a steel cage match for the world title. And they've gone with something that should have happened at what I call it, in my opinion. That should have happened at Bound for Glory. But I'll let you see for yourself. October 25th, which is... that's going to take place. The spoilers for October 25th, when that will pop up, might be in a week or so. We'll see. And apparently, well, hang on, Rich Swann and OVE. I have to look in. I have to keep an eye on that. Maybe Rich Swann's joined OVE. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just going back what I saw there. It doesn't say anything else. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, though. Other than that, guys, as far as this podcast is concerned, that about wraps it up. Yeah, that about wraps it up. This special podcast, this 6 o'clock podcast that I did. This is something that I'm trying out for the channel. Will this be a regular thing? I don't know. Will this be a regular thing? I do not know. We'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to do something in my scheduled time just to see what happens. See what the response is and see what happens. I might do this again, but I might do it a little bit later on down the road. We'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm just trying out new things for the channel and see what I can bring to the channel that you guys might enjoy, no matter where you are. If you're on my YouTube channel as well, smash the like button, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll put the socials up there. You can get me on social media. Apologies for all the trolls that came in earlier on. No big deal. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tonight in terms of gaming-wise, but if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who dropped by and everything like that. My name is Anthony Walker. I hope to see you guys again for another podcast. And until then, guys, I am out. Goodbye.